Good morning, everyone. I pray that your Friday gave you spaces and places of joy, of peace, of happiness, time to smile, time to check in with yourself, time to be gentle with yourself, and time to be gentle with others. Today, we're simply going to do a check-in. We have talked about a lot this week. We've talked about the different ways that we manifest anger. We've talked about external expressions of anger, which come out as aggression. We've talked about rage. We've talked about internal manifestations of anger, which kind of looks like depression, where we beat ourselves up and take responsibility for things that we're really not responsible for. We've talked about repressed anger, where we just don't talk about it. We just keep it inside and we're fuming. And we've also talked about passive aggressive behavior, where we're angry and it's aggressive how we exhibit it, but we do it in a somewhat passive way. Passive meaning, as opposed to saying, this is why I'm angry, we do something to get that person back. We do something so they can see how it feels. But the problem, as I said yesterday, is most of the time the other person is not getting the connection. They don't realize that this is your way of paying them back. And so your point is not made, and you have not given yourself an opportunity to have a discussion, to talk the thing through. I want to do a time of check-in because your comments have been wonderful. People have been commenting on the post. People have been sending email messages to the email address, which is firsttimebeginnings@gmail.com. And in these comments, I can tell that you all are working hard, that you all are giving this some thought. We've also talked about journaling, to begin to journal, to be able to get your feelings out, to begin to journal, whether you use paper to pen or you journal through pictures. The caveat I had stated, and I'm going to repeat again, is don't go back and read what you read, because you'll start to become your own worst critic. And to not use a laptop or a phone or an iPad, but to actually, if you're going to write, to write on paper. Now, for some of us, that may be a challenge, finding some paper to write on in this technological state. But I suspect that you can find some. You may have to order some crayons or some colored pencils. You may have to get the things that you need. But there really is a benefit of actually putting that implement in your hand, the pen, the crayon, the marker, and to put your thoughts on paper, because something happens with your brain. When we do the connection between using our hand to express our thoughts, to write it out, we actually begin to write our truest thoughts. We begin to express ourselves from deep in our core. And that's why I've asked you not to go back and read it, because as some of you have said, when you go back and read it, it overwhelms you. For some of you, you said when you go back and read it, it makes you sad. For some of you, it may make you say, you may begin to invalidate what you wrote. You may say, well, it really wasn't that bad. That's not what I really meant. And some of you, it just may cause you to start crossing things out. Your journal should never have cross-outs. It should never have corrections of errors, because the reality is these are your thoughts. So they're already correct because they're yours. Now, some of you have not began to journal at all because of your concern about, just suppose somebody finds my journal. This is my personal business. I don't want anybody to see or read what I wrote. Well, beloved, my dear, followers, my dear community, I would invite you to give yourself permission to write anyway. And then when you're finished writing, put your journal, put your papers in a safe place. Now, I'm going to suggest a safe place for you ladies that you may not have thought of, but I can guarantee you most people are not going to go into this place. And that could be wherever you keep your sanitary things like sanitary napkins, because no one's really going to go in there unless you share those with someone else. You may want to put it in your underwear drawer. You may want to put it under your mattress. For people who have come through trauma, who don't have trust, we know how to find hiding places. Let's be real. We know how to keep things from other people. So the idea that someone else may see it, I can guarantee you, you're not going to leave it out. I guarantee you, if you leave it out or you leave it in a place that's accessible, it's because you want somebody else to see it. So please, I invite you to give yourself permission and to challenge that one belief that I can't do this because someone else is going to see it. I invite you to challenge that belief, because I know that you can find a place to put your journal that is safe, that no one else will access it. This is also an opportunity that I'm opening up for you if you have any questions for me. And I probably should have done a live, but I hadn't thought about it until right now. But you can send me questions. You can message me the question if it's private. You can send it to the email address, which is also at the top of my page. You can also put your question in the comments. I do read the comments. Now, I try to comment, to do a response to every comment, but sometimes I'm not able to. Sometimes I may miss things. And if I do, I ask you to charge it to my head and not to my heart, because my desire is to make sure that everyone is validated, that everyone feels heard, and to honor the fact that you took the time to watch my videos and to correspond with me. So you can ask questions. But it was something else I wanted to kind of say. Now I have to give me a minute to think about what the next thought was. Some of you are in my age range and know what it's like to have a senior moment. And if you are younger, keep living, you will experience them as well. And that's a great example of how we can take something that may seem really embarrassing to somebody else. Oh, she forgot her thought. I would never do that. And to make light of it. You know, we can always learn to be gentle with ourselves by learning to laugh at ourselves in a positive way that demonstrates that we are human. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. So starting next week at some point, I've entered into a partnership with a company that provides counseling services. And this company provides counseling services either through the phone or through your computer. And it has counselors in North America, in Europe, and other parts of the world. And so what you will start to see as soon as my link is live, I will be adding their link as a supporter of this page. And for those of you who have come to the realization that I need more than just these videos. These videos have brought me to a place of being able to identify that there's some challenges in my life, but I really want to work it out with a counselor, and I do encourage you to do so. You will be able to find a counselor without having to go to too many hoops. Again, they will work with you, they will be helpful for you, and you will be able to continue to heal and restore in a way that you deserve. And that will be coming. We're just waiting for the link to become live. Today here in Maryland, where I live, the sun is shining again. You know I always like it when the sun shines. Things are looking green. And I'm just happy. Oh, one last note. I have younger sisters. They are significantly younger than I am because my dad remarried much later in his life. But my sister Charlie, yes, her name is Charlie, she is graduating from Babson College, and I want to give a shout out to her for a job well done. She was the captain of her baseball team, and she's graduating with a Bachelor's of Science, and she is looking forward to going out there in the workforce to get some experience, but her ultimate goal is to practice law. So Charlie, if you're listening, I am proud of you. I am so, so proud of you. And my desire for you is to just keep looking forward, because as you said in our text this morning, the world is your oyster. And for all of us, it's the same message I give to you. Keep looking forward, because the world is your oyster, and I invite you to do that on purpose. I will talk with you on Monday, because remember, I don't do videos on Sunday. Sunday is a day where I replenish. It's a day where I refill. It's a day where I get what I need. And I encourage you to do the same, whether it's listening to a message, whether it's chanting, whether it is doing whatever practice that fills you and gets you in touch with your inner core. I will talk with you on Monday. Love you all. Bye-bye.